Sure, everything's made of something, but time and sweat is what puts it together. And it's that relentless application of effort against the clock that created everything around us. The BF Goodrich HD Terrain Tire is engineered to tackle the extreme situations heavy-duty trucks are met with head-on. Because downtime can't exist when there's a job to do. Time isn't something to marvel at. It's something to be seized. It's a tool we put firmly in your hands. BF Goodrich, what are you building for?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Fishgistics, where we preview the upcoming score, San Felipe 250, the kickoff for the 2025 Baja Racing Series, or Score International Series. My name is Cameron Steele. I'm a racer and a host here at Fishgistics. I'll be sharing with my good friend Austin Fish Farner. Fishgistics is obviously named for you. It's good to be with you, buddy, and kick off the season.
Yeah, good to be here. Finally get to do some Baja racing, talk about some Baja racing this year, and it's going to be a good one. Everybody likes San Felipe, right? It's always a fun one to start the year. It's kind of like a mad sprint race nowadays. I don't think you can drive less than 120% and try to win this race.
Yeah, I mean, last year we were fortunate enough to finish in the top three on time at the end in our two-wheel drive, I'll mention. We did end up getting fifth after missing a VCP somehow, which we never do. But we drove at, there's a lot of it where you're driving 9/10, 10/10, and it's definitely not a race where if you're trying to win, you're going to get a lot of rest time, so to speak. Also joining us today, Jose G, the kingpin from Score International. Welcome, Jose G.
Hello, Senor Cameron, Senor Fish. How are you?
We're doing great. We're doing great. We're just opened the show. We're stoked to have you here. I did want to start off, as always, by saying this is all opinion-based. Fish, myself, Jose G, others that might chime in. This is all of our opinions. You guys got to do your own research and your own fact-finding and make your own decisions. But we are here to answer questions. Fish has some from people. I'm sure we're going to talk a lot about the race course here and we'll also be talking about what's been, the topics of Baja, so to speak. First of all, Jose G, I heard you've been out on the race course. How's that looking?
Yeah.
You look a little sunburnt.
Yeah, I just got out of the race. I've been jumped into my truck to make the show. So yeah, we kind of thank God we were in a pro arc. If not, we wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, how was the course today? What, you were actually out there pounding steaks in, huh?
Yeah, all the time. It's part of the office duties, but it's awesome. The weather was kind of cold, but it's beautiful day, and we made a lot of headway. We'll finish Friday early, so it'll be done by Saturday.
Awesome.
Is that so? Pre-running is going to open up this coming weekend?
Yeah, it opens up on Saturday. We reduced the pre-running time a little bit so that the course hopefully stays a little bit better and we don't piss off the locals so much. But it's a great course. It's a fun course, a few new sections, and it's one of my favorites so far.
For those of you new to Score Off-Road Racing or Baja Racing, this is the first race of the year, as we talked about. It's mileage-wise, the shortest race of the year, but I always like to caution people that, in my opinion, this is also possibly the toughest race of the year. San Felipe is all run and a ton of washes, lots of rocks, tons of whoops. Jose G, I'm assuming that the whoops haven't gone anywhere.
Well, it's not so bad. Believe it or not, the way the course is set up, once you come and pre-run it, you'll see that it's not all whoops now. There's a few new sections. It's different trails. The way we did it, it's just outstanding. Of course, when you get to the wonderful whoops that we all love, from Morelia down to Matomi, those are just trying to survive them, right? They're horrible.
Someone asked me, actually, I've been getting quite a few calls about San Felipe, which we'll talk about this coming up, but someone did ask me what I thought the roughest part of the race course was, and I had to think about it for a second because, well, we do drive a trophy truck, so and Fox shocks, and we just skim over the bumps. But Man, I did instantly think of that section south of Morelia, where we haven't been on the big road there for I guess it's probably been 11 years now or so since we've been on that road. I don't know how long, but
Probably more. Yeah.
yeah. So that's an area that never needs to be graded, never needs to be fixed, and has those undulating
And
hills
it
that
never
come
will.
down. It's complete dog crap. I love it.
Yeah.
Welcome to Baja Off-Road Racing.
Yeah.
Let's get it started. Jose G, I know there's been a lot of questions about different changes in Baja, and I thought we would go ahead and kick off and have you go ahead and talk about. I know Fish was saying you had some topics that you wanted to tackle right away.
Well, I mean, if you guys have some questions so that we know exactly what we're talking about, I mean, we can start answering questions. And I mean, the only thing different that we're doing this year, of course, is how we're going to do contingency. And so I can explain that quickly. So
Yeah.
it just be part of it. Just the Malecon is going to be fenced out. People will be able to cross from side to side. There's going to be a few openings, but there's going to be score staff and authorities there to make sure that the cars are not moving. And so the race vehicles, will be inside, just on the Malecon, inside the fenced area. What that means is that the vehicles, like two people have to be in each vehicle, so that if one needs to get out, go to the bathroom or go get documents or something, someone can still start the car up and move it forward. No pushing, no more. There's not going to be anyone in between vehicles. And on the left side, we're going to make it wide enough for the widest trophy truck and a little bit more for like a quad, because we're going to have the left side of the fenced area is going to be for the four-wheel vehicles, and the left side is going to be for bikes and quads. So what we'll do is we'll open up contingency with the top 10 qualifiers, and the bikes and quads, everyone's going to go in, bikes on the, like I said, on the left side, so that the driver can see them. And once we get through the top 10 qualifiers, we're just going to shuffle bike a car, so we can get them out as quick as possible. So we only have 1 day of contingency. But that's pretty much the only thing different that we're doing. The persons inside the gated area, which they have to be bandit participants, co-drivers. You can add more co-drivers, because I know the driver record or whoever's going to start, you're going to be out pre-running. So yeah, just to make sure that they're bandit and they're co-drivers, they know the vehicle, they're not going to do anything weird, and that's it. That's the only thing different that we're doing this year.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean that sounds pretty easy, and actually it might even make the contingency line go faster, and everybody will get done sooner, right? So I don't think anybody will complain if that happens.
Yeah, exactly. We still left one block of like the side of the Costa Azul Hotel, where probably PCI and the BF Goodrich, those people that need access to the racers, will still have it. So our controlled area will start pretty much on the Malecon, so that the like Baja Pits and the people that need to have like really rugged, and everyone that needs to have contact with the racers or the vehicles will still be able to have it if they set up outside the fenced area.
Perfect. Yeah, that should work pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of the biggest questions that I had gotten, was about that. And then the other big question was about the security down there. And there's been a lot of talk lately. We know there's some coverage on the news here and there. Maybe just touch on. I've gotten a lot of questions from people. Is there any kind of special security plan in place? Do people need to get their FMM at the border to come down? Is there going to be a checkpoint? Anything special you guys are doing or have in place for that
Well,
type?
of course, you need to bring your passports. If you're going to be here more than a week, you have to get the permit when you cross the border. I would do it anyways, just in case you want to stay in vacation a little bit. But besides that, if you come down, and Cameron already saw it, the security in San Felipe is great. We know things happened a week ago, but everything's calmed down, and I'm here. All the score staff guys are here. We're no worries. I mean, you see military, you see state police, federal police everywhere. I think it's totally safe. And like I said, nothing bad has happened this week, and it's not going to happen.
Perfect. All right. Yeah, that was a topic on a lot of people's minds, so I think it's good if
Yeah,
they
I know they're worried, and there was a lot of talk actually between some racers that were calling other teams, and it's not safe to go down there. I'm not going to go. You shouldn't go. They're just doing that so that you don't race, and then they get that they don't fall down on the points, so something like that. But no. It's just things that happen. It happens everywhere. It happens everywhere, and I hate to say it, but it happens often all around the world. Just when it goes out on social media, that's when people get scared. So it's safe to come down. Don't worry.
I think that for people, I understand the concerns, and I think everybody has to do their own research and dig in. I think that rumors are one thing, but getting in and getting the facts, I think, is very important. For me, I'm always very conscious of safety, and I pay attention to my moves and what I'm doing, no matter where I go in the world, even in my own town. But I do think that everybody needs to do their own research and dig in. I was in San Felipe this last week. As Jose G mentioned, I did see some additional screening from the military going in and out of town. Regarding the FMM, we always stop and get it. We stopped last week and got them. It wasn't a huge ordeal to do. But everybody, I think just follow the rules, be safe. We can never guarantee anything, right? But we had a good trip last week. We did take some extra precaution, having a couple people per car, not letting people go by themselves, things like that. But that's, we were pretty remote and further down than San Felipe also. But I think that, like I said, do your own research and pay attention. And I know, Jose G, you guys have been working on it pretty extensively.
Yeah. Actually, today in the morning, Juan Tintos, that it's not in the program today, he had another meeting with the general came from Mexico City. Tomorrow, there's going to be another huge meeting here in San Felipe with the state, federal. I mean, if I show you the phone here, El Cortez parking lot is packed with federal police. They're going to make sure that Valley T, San Felipe, all the area, all the surroundings from San Felipe is safe to travel and safe to be here.
Perfect. All right. Well, you guys want to look at the course?
I think we should definitely look at the race course. And I like that Jose G was telling us that there's some different sections. I think that's one of the greatest things about what SCORE has been coming up with some different ideas and trying to get on some different routes. I think that for some people, one of the things that we'll really have to pay attention to, and we'll talk about when we get to it, is a lot of people wanted to know where that midpoint in the race course is for possible driver changes and something like that. Jose G will need to talk about that. But looking at the map, it looks like similar to what we've been doing the last few years, coming in and out of town. Any significant changes? Since we haven't opened pre-running, none of us have seen the racetrack yet, but it looks pretty similar coming from the Malecon.
And just so everybody knows, on this map right here, the red is going to be the car course, and then when you see the blue is going to be the motorcycle and quad course. So we'll explain that more as it veers off in different sections as well.
Yeah, like you said, Cameron, pretty much going out and coming into town, it's pretty much the same. We try to keep it the same so that people don't need to pre-run that section because you're so close to town. But once you get out of it towards the dump area, which we all call it the power line road, that's where it changes. I mean, we threw a few really cool trails. Part of what was qualifying, like I want to say, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and
this right here looks really different. If you can see it, Jose G, around the mountain early in town.
Yeah, like I said, that's part of. I think most of it is what we did in qualifying 2 years ago. So it's pretty fun, and it's just different. It's not so fast, and it keeps you away a little bit from the power line road, which we know it's going to be packed with spectators.
For sure. Well, that's one thing about everybody that hasn't spent a lot of time racing down here, that watch the spectators. There are going to be people around. It is a race. I know everybody wants to go fast, but be safe, make good decisions, be smart. I see a speed zone here. I wanted to ask you about the speed zone in and out of town before we get any further, Jose G.
Well,
where are the speed zones there?
That's actually like speed zone 3.
Yeah.
We have the speed zone going out of town. It ends almost as you go into the dunes a little bit further, because that's where you need to go back a little bit to the dune and zoom in on it.
Oh, right here. Yep.
Yeah.
So speed zone leaving the start area.
Until
Yeah,
the dunes, basically, right?
speed, and then once you get like midway in the Malecon, you see on your file, and it's also physically going to be marked. That's when you slow it down to 37, like we always do, exactly where we always put it, so that it's not something different. So once you cross the road there in front of the Cortez hotel where I'm at right now, you're gonna cross the road and keep going a little bit further, because that's where timing is gonna be. That's where your actual race time is gonna start and end. So I mean, if you don't want to go fast to the Malecon to keep it safer, it's fine. It's just for show, but that's where your actual time is gonna start and end. So that's where speed zone 1 ends, outbound. Then we have another speed zone right behind some houses outside of town.
Okay, good conversation. It's good to let everybody know.
Yeah, there you go. If you've seen that there's a BCP, and of course, remember that all of the start and end speed zones are also considered BCPs. So just so that people remember that, because if you want to go somewhere else that it's faster, or you think you can go fast being outside the speed zone, you're going to be screwed. So that whole thing is not all of it. That's where it ends, right there. And the other speed zone outbound is crossing Sioux Road.
Copy. So this is a traditional crossing, famous spot in San Felipe. Of course, there will probably be a lot of spectators. Everybody real careful here, and that's going to head us more out into the desert as we start leaving town. This is a turn that we at VCP 22 turning off onto some course. I believe we used it a couple of years ago. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've used it a lot of times, and if you go straight, that's the power line road that would pretty much take you to the mini summit. So that's the first shortcut. That's where the motorcycles are going to go straight and cut off all those miles going north of San Felipe. That's where we're going to get them ahead on the course, and then those miles that they lost, we're gonna make up for them at the bottom of San Felipe.
Copy. So there will be some paying attention here. So split course at VCP 22. Pay attention. There will be, so while we're talking about the motorcycles, will there be one driver rider meeting or will there be separate?
No, just one.
Okay. So everybody together, one meeting. For the cars, we're going to head out onto this area. As Jose G said, we have raced parts of this over the last couple years. Good mix in, Jose G. How do you guys decide which lines to use which years? And it must be a pretty creative meeting when you guys start talking about the possibilities.
Well, we just brainstorm it. We try to make it different. Actually, we've never ran on those roads. That little summit right there, that's going to be a little bit challenging, or a lot, but it's wide enough that if a car can't make it, people can go around it. That's kind of tricky. We've never ran on top to the top of that mountain.
Yeah, I don't know what the elevation gain is. You can see obviously there's some sharp edges nearby. I don't think I've ever been up in this area, so that's pretty interesting.
You've probably, well, maybe on motorcycles, but no one's has ever raced up that mountain before. And when you get to it, you'll probably see why.
Great. Looking forward to it so much.
Felipe is only 250 miles this year, right? That's only 250. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's going to take us back towards the highway, but not get us all the way there. I see there's no access road there. Is there spectators in that area?
There is one. That's and actually that section is typically just used for like poker runs that Mr. Rafa Navarro doesn't. So we've never raced on those roads before. So he'll be pretty mad with me after we destroy his course, but we'll see what we can do for him.
Copy. Heading back through this section is a side of a traditional race course, but It's something we have raced on more recently. I'm trying to look at just the straight, like I said, we haven't been able to be there yet. So this line where we're racing here, is this something that we've raced on before?
Yeah, I'm sure that's everything that you see there. We've done it before, and so we just go to where we used to race on the other side of the fence, between the fence and the highway. We don't Once we get to that point, we just double back. But that's as further north as we get on this course.
Yeah, right here.
So that's where we would, not the last year, but over the years, that would be one of the more traditional spots where we'd come closer to the highway the first time.
Correct.
Now we're going to turn around and head back south on those rollers there. Caution of the whoops. I see the VCPs line. Some of the routes you guys have chosen, I'm sure, are very specific for reasons.
Yeah, the reason why you see more BCPs in areas like that is that we don't want people to wander out. And once you know there's a BCP coming, you pay more attention, because it's pretty close, and depending on the speed, the outbound and inbound course. So if someone that's not paying attention to the dust could end up, I don't think so, but could end up on the inbound course, and we don't want that. That's why we added those BCPs, to make sure that they're like safely spread apart.
Copy. That's going to take us out into some washes. I see some redirects on the VCPs here. These washes, last time I was in there, I remember them being pretty good time. Are some of the same trails that we used a couple years ago? And even part of this might have been a couple years ago at the 1,000?
Yeah, we used that a couple of years ago, but it changed. Everything changed. It's all flat. There's a lot of rocks now, and it's the first time the first people that pre-run the course, they're gonna have to do a little bit of work, homework, because sometimes you lose the trail. I mean, we tried marking it as good as possible, but still you have to go from one side to the other until, of course, it's burned in and it's more obvious. But it's fun, and then you're gonna come into the wash that I don't think we've ever actually ran, just for and it's right now. I just did it, and it's awesome.
Awesome. Has there been much water over the last year? I don't think it was a very big hurricane season this last year.
No, but like last year we did have way more water than this year, and that water comes down from the mountains from San Pedro Martir, and it just flattens the washes. Even Matomi wash, it's totally different than what we saw a couple of years ago. And now you actually where it's kind of challenging between the huge rocks. Now you end up going through on the right side, not coming down over the rocks on the left side. Everything changed. So I'm sure after a few days of pre-running, the good lines are going to be burned in, but it's super fun.
Copy. I see a big zigzag here in the VCPs. Looks like 57 to 58. Get back to that section.
Get you out of one wash, and there's a little berm there that like I said, never done it before, and connects to another wash. It's just different things that we're trying to make it interesting and fun for you guys.
Copy. Fun is the name of the game, right?
Yep.
I know last year it seemed like we had a pretty quick, at least for the trophy truck class, average speed. Do you think it's going to be faster or slower this year?
I think it's going to be pretty much the same or a bit faster. This course, as it is right now, to me it's going to be the fastest one so far. I think the only section that's going to slow down the trophy trucks is going to be in Watamote, where it's super extremely rocky and you have to slow down. The rest of it, it's so fast that you can't believe it.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. This brings us back to some traditional race course we've been on just for a short bit there, actually just adjacent to it. Looks like we're off to the side, getting to race mile 60.
Yeah, that exactly. We've done that before, and then you make a left, and that takes you over like to Morelia Junction. So you're going parallel to Morelia until you get to the junction, and then you just you're gonna cross the road and go to your favorite section. But all that just fun.
So these are all washes outbound. Then we're gonna get back on the pole line road. Is this the old pole line, right? You talked about it earlier.
Yeah, that's the one that takes you to the mini summit. That's where, if you keep going straight, we'll keep going straight. That's where the motorcycles are gonna merge back into the race course.
Copy. What's the time stagger for the motorcycles to the cars?
Well, bikes are gonna start at 6 in the morning. Just the Pro Moto Unlimited, we're gonna do them a minute apart. The rest of the bikes, 30 seconds. And but we're betting that of course trophy trucks are gonna catch up, probably like super slow bikes, but maybe just maybe trophy trucks won't even catch a bike. First of all, we think they're gonna catch it. They're gonna get caught around like 170 area, but we set up the checkpoint 1 right before like at 114. Then that's has good access and everything. And bikes, quads, anyone that makes it when the checkpoint is closed, we're not going to let them through. For their safety, their race is done.
Copy. Okay. So this section here, this is getting us back towards
Morelia.
Morelia, some zigzagging in here.
And the bikes are back on the course now as well, because
Yeah.
they joined back up right there.
Correct. Yeah, for them it's like race mile 30, and for the, I think it's already like almost like 80 for the other classes.
Yeah, we're at 75 right here.
Yeah.
Now, once again, for people that maybe didn't watch before, what is the difference between a letter and a number VCP?
It's just how the tolerance. A normal or numbered BCP, it's 120 feet that you have to hit it within 120 feet, and the lettered ones are only 40 feet because just Morelia Road is really close to it. We don't want people jumping on it. It's going to be a lot of people there also. So every time you see a letter, that means that the tolerance of the BCP goes down to 40.
And I assume this might be one of the red routes that is an automatic DQ or somewhere there if you get on some of the roads. Usually that's what the letters mean, right?
Exactly, senor. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're not going to throw any curveballs. The same roads that they've been off limits are going to be off limits on this one, which is all Morelia Road, all the way down to like Agua Caliente. So just stay on the race course.
All right.
Yeah. So easy.
So we go, looks like we go straight back away from the road, out and around to the other side of the wash, and then start heading back towards the west, getting more in what looks like some wash sections. And this is the Morelia Junction, as it's known.
Speed zone today.
I know there's a speed zone here. Anything else that comes to mind, Jose G?
No. We just put a speed zone there. We don't have a checkpoint. We don't have nothing. Just of course for safety, we added that speed zone.
Any notes on the Morelia Road usage for cruiser pits? Is that open?
It is open, and of course on race day, that is probably the most unsafe place in the world. And we've all lived it. I know chase teams are rushing in to try to catch up to their race car or race bike, and spectators are coming out. Sometimes there's a lot of alcohol involved in San Felipe, so just be really careful. That road is tremendously dangerous because of the high speeds. That's a wide road. People are traveling on it super fast. So just extra careful if you're using it, which a lot of people.
I agree with you, Jose G. Very, very dangerous place to be chasing, especially with all the dust. People, spectators and chase crews mixed together. Everybody really needs to be careful. Think about what you're doing. If you're sending crews out there, give them great instructions and make sure they understand what they're tackling. So there is I know that there is looks like the BFG pit is out there, one of the BFG pits. This is that section. We'll talk about that in a second. This section right here, though, this is the lovely ripped up section that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, that's if it's someone's favorite section, let me know. We'll make it rougher, but it's just horrible. But it is what it is. It's like Fish said, it's off-road racing.
Yeah. So once again,
Someone
here,
said, will there be flaggers at the, actually, Andy Kirker said, will there be flaggers at the Morelia Road junction?
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Copy.
now down here, once again, there's no VCPs in this section. However, obviously the road over here is off limits, correct?
That is correct. We usually leave it open so that people like pick their lines, and but if you get on Morelia Road, I mean, you can go out if you need to weld on your car or work on it, and then come back the same way you went that you went out, and then you won't have a problem. But you cannot run on Morelia Road. That's going to be an automatic DQ.
Perfect.
Copy that. And it'll run back and forth near this road. This is still that same access road for people that don't understand that, going further south on the race course. That's what we're talking about, just the dust and the dangers. This gets a little bit more remote down in here into one of these bigger washes. Kind of a pretty place to go racing, a little different than all the other San Felipe. There's some beautiful washes. This is just a different kind of wash area. Any major changes in here, Jose G?
Oh, it's just virgin. It's open. It's flat. It's so fast. That watch used to take you to the old Guatamote watch entrance, but then years ago it got washed out from a hurricane. Then it was pretty much made it impossible for like at least like four-wheel vehicles to continue. But I think bikes could still make it. You've probably done it, but I haven't seen if bikes and quads can make it straight.
Copy. Turning, you see the deep point in the wash there, VCP 84.
Yeah.
Continuing southbound, and now the bikes and the cars are still on the same course at this point.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to take us back to some of the backside. This is pretty remote stuff out the back. For those of you that haven't been in this area, obviously there's no cell phone service. Plan accordingly. Not a lot of comms back here. You can see that the race course zigzags through this wash, comes out, and you can see this is where the BFG pit I was talking about is at race mile 115.
Yeah, exactly. That's where once you get to that almost 90-degree turn to the left, exactly in that corner, that's where checkpoint 1 is going to be.
Okay. And what's the rule? I'm sure people are going to want to have pits there. What's the rule? How far away from the checkpoint do you have to be?
100. It's 150 feet before it and 100 feet after, or vice versa. And we're going to mark. Actually, right now, as soon as you clear the checkpoint, the BF Goodrich pit's already marked there. So before the checkpoint, you'll know that you can't pit until you're past BF Goodrich.
Copy.
Perfect.
And have you driven the access roads out to there, Jose G? What's that like?
I drove it today, senor.
And
It's great.
copy. Do you happen to have a distance for people so they know what they're getting into?
I don't have it with me right now, but it's on top of it's like 57 miles or something from San Felipe to check 1.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably going to be. This is going to be where most everybody's going to pit, right?
Well, it is like race mile 114, so if it would be the most easiest access to get in and do your pit. You could still go south on the main road and come in where you start heading towards Matomi, and there could be some decent places there also, but it's too sandy. So yeah, that would check 1 area is probably your best bet.
Copy. And that's going to get us down to where the face changes. Obviously, tons of rocks and washes all over the place in San Felipe and Baja in general, but racing through this section, tons of rocks, and then the big Matomi wash, the drop in. How do the Matomi narrows look? I know you said it looks like there'd been a lot of water through since the last time the racers had been there.
Yeah, it's way more rockier as soon as you drop into Matomi. The difference is remember when you used to drop into Matomi, you went straight a little bit and then you would hang a left. Now, as soon as you drop in, you have to hang a left because it's all washed out in the front. I actually we physically marked it today, and after that it's way, like I said, way more rockier, but all the way to where the big white rocks are, where it's really narrow. Once you clear that, that thing is flat. It's really fast.
Copy. Matomi Wash is a long way from everywhere, so
Yeah.
just beware. There's a lot of race courses that's a long way from everywhere in Baja, but this one definitely very remote. So we're gonna run the wash down past race mile 140, and then you're gonna make a tight left turn up a small canyon, and then get onto the section. I always for some reason, I always call this the yellow whoop section. The dirt just kind of changes colors a little bit up in there. How does that look? Does it look like there's been any water over there, or is that just all same whoops?
That's as beautiful as it was last time you saw it. No water. And just a note on that: if you see the blue line, the bikes are working their way down, and they're gonna go out on Matomi Watch towards the highway. So this. I'm just mentioning it so that the people chasing know that to go into Matomi just in case they need to. That's going to be the motorcycle course going out to the highway. So for a while, we're not going to let anyone go in.
Copy. Understood.
Yeah, so basically, if you break your stuff around mile 140, you're screwed. You're gonna have to be there for a while. Pack snacks.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
We always have some snacks. Definitely pack water for sure.
Yeah.
That's gonna take you up through these whoops that Jose G was saying looked very similar to last time we were there, and bring us up to the end of one of the washes, although we're not racing the wash. I see dangers. Score has some marked, but there, of course, are others. Everybody drive what you can see or ride what you can see, and make sure you pre-run to know what's out there.
Yeah, when we mark dangers, there's definitely a reason why. We leave it all pretty much because we know there's the speeds are so different that what could be a super dangerous ditch for a class 1 or a spec truck or something like that, it could be nothing for a class 11, which would be the opposite because they're not coming in so fast. So we just mark the ones that we know are going to get you. It's actually one of those dangers that there's still the hood and fenders from a black trophy truck, and with red and a little bit of a yellow. Anyway, just we put up a bunch of BCPs there also because we have the bikes coming in on the other side. So that's the reason why so that line that we marked, that's the line that the racers did all the way we're running it all the way to the left. That's the furthest left line we got.
Okay. And that's going to bring us back towards, well, I don't want to say people or civilization, but it's going to bring us back towards where we might see some pitting out in that area. Is there access there? There is. Oh,
Well,
it actually doesn't go that far out. My bad. It looks like it cuts short and gets on the old Portecitos Road there.
Yeah, but to get to Old Puertecitos Road, it's in a wash that we've never done before. That's new for us also. It's really fun, and that's gonna take you north a little bit, and then you turn left again to go into Azufre Wash.
And copy. And is that similar to how we've run it in the past?
Yes, but remember we've done only like half of Azufres lately. So and we cut you to go from Azufre to Guatamote Wash using what we called Boulder Canyon. Now you do all of Azufre all the way out, and then you work your way up to Guatamote. So it's really fun.
Looks like a great challenge.
Yeah.
That's going to bring us out of Azufre down to one of the washes. We'll head back northbound.
Yeah, there's a few rocks there on that straightaway next to the fence. Those will get you if you're not paying attention. You're coming down so fast, and they're on both sides. There's always, people always get flats there, so just be careful.
What spot was that, Jose, on the map here?
Yeah, as soon as you get on that straightaway, if you zoom in, before that. Oh,
back here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's there's a little there. You can see there's a little bit jog there. No, go to the other side. And
Right
you
or
can
left?
see on the straightaway. Keep going, follow the course, and there's a little jog there.
Oh, right there.
Right there. That'll end your race if you don't slow down there.
Yeah, that's a big one. So right after 180.
Yeah.
Again, drive what you can see and what you know. It's a race, but the number one job is for everybody to come home safely.
Yeah, so that wash, you're gonna cut back to the other straightaway, and you're gonna go east, and that'll take you to Watamote wash, which we do all of it. And in Watamote, like in between, that's probably to me the most challenging section of the whole race course.
In here.
Copy.
Yeah, there's one section. It's not a very long section, but you're rock crawling. You have to. I mean, you have to get the one. You won't need a spotter, but maybe pre-running you will. And you don't know where you go. It's just all rocks.
It looks tight. A good Baja challenge, right? Everybody,
there's no chase access in here, so pack snacks.
Yeah, send a 4x4 if you can't make it pre-running. So
Yeah.
we're not gonna go and send a helicopter like others do. We don't have.
Now it looks like that's going to bring you to the car race mile 200. And there's a marker for Watamote wash. The wash is using all of the wash, Jose G, for both Azufre and Watamote.
Yeah, we're using Matomi, Azufre, Watamote, Chanate, Amarillas, and we're using pretty much all of the southern ones.
Beautiful.
Then when you get to VCP 131, this is where the bikes would go south. They will continue going straight. The cars need to make a left there.
Yeah, that's correct. And they're like under 80 miles, so they'll turn off like early. So
Okay.
that's why we're doing it. There's very just one or two teams that don't like racing on the same course as everyone, but 90% of or 99% of the racers, the motorcycle racers, love it because they don't have once they make that turn, they don't have to worry about the big truck being on their back and just making it as dangerous because it's so fast and the people are not stopping. It's so dangerous. We saw that there was a huge need for us to do this, and finally we did it. We figured it out, and it's the same mileage, but we got the bikes out pretty much out of danger.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea because, like you said, it makes it less stressful for the bikes because they don't have to worry about looking behind them the whole time, which makes it safer because they're not going to crash when they're looking behind them either, probably. So it's definitely a better way to go.
Yeah, and mile wise is this exactly the same.
Yeah.
One note I will say is just be cautious to the chase crews and the motorcycle racers. Watch for cross traffic, both pre-running and on race day. Will there be flaggers on those sections, Jose
Yeah.
G?
There will be score staff on pretty much all of the access roads you see in the map.
Copy. Well, it's got to be quite a bit of work to add a whole separate bike segment like that. But like you said, the bike guys seem to really be stoked on it.
We do it and we run it, and you'll see me and Rolo and then the office. Oh, like we're a mile short. Where do we make up a mile? Because we want to make it so that it's exactly the same mileage. So you see something weird, we just did it because we needed to make sure that it's exactly the same.
Gotcha.
Perfect.
So the car course at that split will go north and then go to the west. Once again, this will go into a very short bit of Chanate Wash.
Yeah, it'll do like half of Chanate and then cross over to Amarillas, which will take you back east towards San Felipe.
And then that Amarillas Wash, that entrance is pretty.
Oh, it's like I said, it's so fast now. It's so pretty. It's so flat. We haven't used that section in a couple of years, so it's as wide as it's wide. I don't know, 100 meters wide. It's great.
Wow, awesome. Then that's going to start bringing us back towards town. Plenty whoops and rocks to be battled. The courses will come back together here closer to town, so heads up on that. Any special notes on the merging of the courses there, Jose G?
No, by when the motorcycles hit that course, they should be the first ones actually. And in our calculations, we still have vehicles starting, so that's the reason why you'll see some changes up ahead. So bikes are going to be clear there. Of course, we're going to have score staff, and they're going to run the same direction. Even the slower bikes, when they merge, it's going to be safe. And like I said, maybe in that area they could get caught, but I don't see it possible. We're actually going to have to stop the first motorcycles to we're going to stop their time, and they're going to have to wait until it's clear to go in and get their interview.
Perfect.
Copy.
I had one other question on the stream here. So when you say that a VCP is 120 feet, is that from the center out 120 feet to each side, or is that a radius around it and you get 60 feet from the center out?
Get from center to the side, 120.
Okay, so 120 in any direction from the center of the VCP.
Correct. It's 120 radius.
Okay, well, there you go. Someone was asking the question in the chat, so there's the answer from Jose G.
From the man himself.
And the letters are 40, you said, right? The letters are 40 feet?
Sí, señor.
Yeah. All right. Perfect.
How's this area look, Jose G? This is something that I think we ran last year. There was quite a bit of silt in here. And
there's a few silt pockets that going to be interesting, but we are not doing the bad one. The bad one was actually closer to Las Minitas, and here we're doing, it's mostly sand, not silt. There's like 2 or 3 that will get super soft, but hey, like, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, one note on that. This section, I always, when we're watching, I remember a lot of people always run out of gas in this section here during the race because they get way worse gas mileage than they think they're going to. Now, this race being ran in so many washes, I would take that into play if it was me. So if you guys think you're going to be close on fuel, what do you think, Cameron? You're going to use a lot more fuel this race, right?
Well, San Felipe, I mean, we don't want to give up all our trade secrets, but we get the worst fuel economy of the year in San Felipe. So yeah, you definitely don't underestimate fuel usage, and make sure you're paying attention. If you got to have some kind of status from either years past or pre-running really won't do it because you're not running the same pace or speeds. So just be cautious on your fuel economy. As you said, Fish, well put.
I just remember last year there was at least 3 or 4 people that were doing well in different classes and all ran out of fuel in the last like 10 miles of the race right there.
Yep. It's a tough one.
Yeah. So where the moto time is right there, you said, Jose, right? Their race is over right there, the motos.
Exactly. So that's I want to make it really clear that when the motorcycles get to that point, there's going to be a timing loop there and score staff. Their time is done. So they don't need to rush, or once they get to that point, they're done, and they're going to get on the asphalt road that goes to Las Misiones. To the right, it's already marked. I marked it today. It's already marked. Just follow that line, which will take you down to the sand dune, and you will see that we have you coming into the sand and then making like a U-turn so that you get to where our timing people are going to be. But they're going to let you know when it's safe. When the last vehicle passes that zone, you can go in. You're going to take your transponder there, and you can just go in slowly, 37 miles per hour, to get interviewed and to get your champagne and celebrate.
And the reason for that is basically this race is so short, and with the time gap at the start, you're going to have race cars still starting the race when the winners of the bikes are coming in, right?
Yeah, we wanted to give them the biggest gap possible so that we can get them on the separate course safely. So I think it's better, safe wise, it's better to give them those 4 hours, which would, I'm 80% sure that the first bikes were going to have to stop, and but their time's already done. You see, they don't run an inch on the shared course, so they'll be fine. They'll be safe. They don't have to be worried about vehicles going their way, having a head on. So that's the reason for it. Still, the mileage is the same. So at where we're going to cut the time for them. So they just
Is this the time zone for the end of the cars, correct? The cars end right here.
Correct. So that area is going to be fenced. There's going to be like the timing trailer and all that stuff. So the motorcycles, once we clear them, that the last car is out and clear off the town, they're just going to stop and get the timing people are going to get their transponders from their bikes, and then they're going to let them go into the town and get the interviews.
Perfect.
Right on.
When the cars are coming into the finish from there, there's no reason for the cars to go fast once they're past this, because their race is over as well. So you don't want anybody running into a K-rail coming in hot at the finish like a couple years ago.
Exactly. That's exactly why we're putting timing outside of town, because this race is so short. Sometimes we have like almost the whole mile gone of a line of trucks that are finished, and our timing trailer was still not there. So we actually one year we were so close that we had to do like a double lane, we had to go double wide so that the vehicles coming in would actually pass timing, and the trucks in front of them didn't stop them or be in their way. So it's smarter to just leave timing outside of town, and that's it.
Couple of people asking about the fuel situation in San Felipe, Jose G, about getting, I guess, regular pump fuel, I think is what they're asking.
There's no shortage.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, I think some of your points are very clear about not racing into town, speed zones and controlled areas. I do think it's going to take a little bit of thinking from everybody to make sure that they're, know where their course is going, know where their timing starts and finishes. Definitely, as I said before, do all your own research. You guys got to figure out the race course, the pre-running, figure out your traveling in Mexico, your safety, all that. This is all just opinions. We're trying to feed you the info we can from the questions and talk about the race course. Jose G, do you have some other opinions or thoughts to share?
Well, I just want to say that we're super happy to start the year here in San Felipe. We feel very confident and very safe actually right now. So come, you don't have to worry about what happened. And for the racers, don't miss the drivers meeting. That's super important. We're gonna go over all of this with the screen like we always do, and we can answer the same question 20 times. We never. I mean, we do whatever we have to do to make sure that things are clear. And but anyway, we're super happy to kick off the year with this race, and hopefully people are gonna love it and they're gonna stay safe.
For safety is job number one. As we always said, everybody wants to have a good time. Safety is job number one. It's only a race. The number one goal is to get everybody home safely. So please, everybody, adhere to that. Jose G, do you want to share where the drivers meeting is and the sign up, stuff like that?
Yeah, the registration this year is going to be at your buddy's place on top at Matilde's. So Manny is really happy with that, and because at the new plaza, it's all rented now. So here there's good parking lot. The place is big enough, so it's going to be upstairs at Matilde's, and that's registration and media. And the drivers meeting is going to be the same place at El Dorado, and also the awards.
Okay, so drivers meeting and awards at El Dorado.
Yeah.
Perfect. There was a couple other questions. Anything you want to say about the qualifying course? I know you're not going to tell us exactly where it is for everybody to know yet, but it like a distance wise maybe, or type of terrain or anything. A couple people were asking about that.
Well, it'll be very similar to last year's. Of course, we try to make it technical so that it splits the drivers from the not so good drivers. That's what qualifying is all about. And but with our timing system right now that it's so accurate, we can run a shorter loop. We can probably do like under 4 miles instead of like we always did 5 miles, because we needed that the times to be a little bit different. But now we're so accurate that we could even do with like a 3-mile course, and times are going to be very close, but perfect.
Is there a obviously the score website is a good information place. Is there a phone number, or is there a couple things, phone number or email, where people can ask questions, safety related, race related, anything like that?
at our website, you can find my number, Juan Tintos, Arturo's, anyone. And I mean, there's my phone number is there. WhatsApp for me works great. Email, sometimes I wait a couple days until I can open my emails, and I have like 600 emails. And so I kind of fall back on that. But text me, call me, WhatsApp me. And like, I think who's ever tried contacting us knows that if we don't answer immediately, we'll call him back. And anyway, the phone works great. And now with Starlink, we're communicated pretty much all the time.
And for any type of, if there's a medical, is there a medical facility you can highlight? What's the procedure on the race radios?
Well, same thing. We're gonna go give you the information because we're using a new clinic. That we're not using the Baja Medical Clinic here in front of El Dorado. That one's closed. We found another one, really nice one, close to it. Chicali. It's a weird name, but we'll give you the information. But anyway, in the website there's contact information. But your best bet is get a hold of me.
Okay. Through Score Ops, Weatherman.
Yeah, for the race, we're gonna keep using Weatherman. As always, it's a score relay now, but it's Scott, and I'm pretty sure Fish will know exactly who's gonna be doing real race. But yeah, you can either go to the score relay with Scott, or there's also a phone number that we activate on during the race. There's an American phone, and there's a Mexican cell phone number also, just in case. So all those numbers are going to be at the racer brief document. So just keep that in handy, and the numbers are there and they work.
Perfect. One other question: someone said, will the DQ roads be provided as GPS files this race, or will they just be pictures?
Well, I think we've always done them like in PDFs because it's very. I mean, they're no brainers. We're not throwing any curveballs, but I mean, there's probably new teams or people that haven't done this race before. So I'm gonna make sure that I get them up on the website as also a KML, and they can, if they can use it, they can just convert it to a USR or a GPX, and so yeah, I'll make sure to put it on at least as a KML file.
Perfect.
Copy. Covered anything else, Fish, off the top of your head?
No, I think that's all the questions that I had for Jose. I was maybe just going to look at the entry list. I don't want to I know Jose's got to get back to the office. He's sitting in his car. So if you don't want to stay on, Jose, you can go.
I mean, San Felipe.
Well, I mean, you got to go to your hotel or the bar, or wherever you're going.
Yeah. I'll grab a sandwich and we'll go to the office immediately.
So any updates, alerts, anything like that will be posted on the Score website. Anybody wants to contact you guys, reach out through the Score website. And thank you for your time, Jose G.
Oh, I did have one more that just popped up, Jose. Any changes to any of the starting orders? So everyone's going to ask again, is the spec truck still starting behind class 1? And is Pro UTV going to start behind class 10?
Okay. Yes and no. So yes, spec class will start behind class 1, which I'm super happy that we have more now. Last time I saw the entry list, I think we're at least over 5. I think we have like 10 now, which is great, and we're gonna be pushing for that class to come back again. So yeah, they'll start. It'll be trophy trucks, 2-wheel drives, legends, class 1 trophy truck specs, and we're reviewing a few things. And the only change might be the 1800s will start in front of class 10.
Okay. Perfect.
They've been faster, so they deserve to move up.
All right. That answers that question. That was all I had for you, Jose. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for marking the course. I'm gonna go with Cameron and give him a little crap for entering the 2-wheel drive class here in a second.
Well, we put a T next to the number. We were gonna put a C on it, but I love my friend Cameron, so I wouldn't do that for him.
Dang. Well, we're all still racing for the overall, right?
Exactly. No, and we knew it was coming, and it's like Pro 2 and Pro 4. There's no comparison. So we were waiting for the right moments that it was kind of even. The numbers are even, because I didn't like it when a promoter divided the class and there was 2 all-wheel drives against like 12 two-wheel drives. So well, they were racing separate. So now at least we have like 15 and 15, and it's a good race. It's a good number, so no one can complain.
Yeah, it does look like it's 15 and 15 just about right now. So it's pretty much just split down the middle
Well,
now.
no one can complain, and that I'm totally wrong. They can complain, but it is what it is.
Well, I think no matter which way you go with it, people are going to complain, right?
Yeah, the
That's
ones
why-
that everyone. I mean, now it's fair game. I mean, it's still whoever wants to enter a two-wheel drive against the all-wheel drives, that it's optional. We're not forcing you to change to race the two-wheel drive class. So we did it differently. We're not splitting all-wheel drives and two-wheel drives. So the trophy truck, the same trophy truck we've always had, that's open. If you're fast enough and you want to go and prove yourself, go ahead. But in the two-wheel drive class, that's strictly two-wheel drives.
But still unlimited other than the two-wheel drives.
That is correct, senor.
Copy. So you're saying that the two-wheel drives can enter in the all-wheel drive class?
Yes, senor.
It's not all-wheel drive class. It's just the trophy truck class is what he's saying, right?
That's correct. It's not an all-wheel drive class. That's the thing different that we did. It's not an all-wheel drive class. It's the trophy truck class that we always had. We just opened the new class just for especially for two-wheel drives.
Got it. Okay. I'm not sure I understood that, but good to know.
What do you mean?
Maybe he's gonna change back now.
No. You could change and go back to trophy truck, but that's why we opened the other one, so that people are not selling their two-wheel drive trophy trucks cheap, and they're still great vehicles and they're fast enough. Maybe one day, depending on the course, one will win overall. But yeah, I think it's you have to give him a winning chance and race more equally against equal vehicles.
Copy. Gotcha. I'm not sure if you guys are giving me a hard time or not, so I'm trying to decipher.
No.
Just so we're clear, the two-wheel drives and the trophy trucks, they're mixed qualifying and mixed overall results.
Yeah, and they'll start mixed also.
Gotcha.
Whoever
So
qualifies.
if a two-wheel drive trophy truck entered in the two-wheel drive class qualifies first, he will start first off the line.
That is correct. The only ones that are going to be they're going to start behind is the ones that don't qualify. And then if there's like 3 trophy trucks that didn't qualify, they're going to start behind, and then the two-wheel drives, and then the legends. So they'll be way in the back.
Okay.
So everyone that's going to that qualifies will start the mixed, the 3 classes.
Copy.
That makes sense. All right. Well, I think that clears that up.
I think I understand.
We can do another program just on that. Don't worry.
Oh, that's okay. I think we're good. We're gonna get it figured out and get out there and do some racing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jose G, for the tireless effort.
Thank you.
And
Yeah,
to
thank you very
Ron
much,
and
Jose.
the whole
Thanks
team.
for coming on. We appreciate it.
Sorry, I was a few minutes late, but I was way south of San Felipe, so I made it back on time. I'll go take a shower and dinner, and then we're all good.
Perfect. All right, cool.
All right. Talk to you soon, Jose G.
Notice. Thank you. See you very soon.
All right. So Fish, that's gonna wrap the San Felipe 250 course preview show. Some questions there, but not
I think
a
we got
ton.
most of the
Yeah.
questions knocked out. Somebody said the spec trucks are faster than Class 1 cars. So yeah,
Everybody's got an opinion. All right, you guys, do your own research. You have questions, go out there and figure it out. We appreciate the time being able to share our opinions with you, but remember, they're just that. And everybody drive safe, be smart, make your own good decisions, and whatever feels good for you, do it that way. But like I said, be safe and smart.
Yeah, and I did have one other thing I wanted to mention real quick because it's kind of new. So Fox actually is putting up a bunch of money for contingency this year, and it's pretty cool. They're putting up 320 grand for the whole year throughout the series, and over $62,000 at San Felipe. So that's cool that a contingency sponsor is putting up a little bigger prizes. You know, we used to see at some of the other races a big money pool here and there, and so it's cool to see. Just wanted to give Fox a shout out and thank them for supporting the racers this year.
Yeah, for sure. We we run on Fox, but we really respect all the brands that are out there, and having Fox step up and offer the winnings to a number of different classes, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have the exact details in front of me, but accelerated contingency is always really cool.
Yeah, definitely, and it's good to win some cash. The first overall is 20 grand, so if you win, Cameron, go win 20 grand.
I love that. Let's do it.
Even if you get third, you get 5, so you're still good.
Yeah, good. Well, we raced to that last year. We just missed the VCP. What's interesting is that VCP that we missed, there's no VCPs within miles of the one we missed last year.
Oh,
So it's a little bit of a heartache. But hey, we love San Felipe, the race. It's always such a challenging race course. It's definitely one that gets in your head, and we've never won it overall. So that's something that we would love to do, but we're going to be smart and get it to the finish line because that championship's on the line also.
oh yeah, there you go.
Such a jerk.
That 2-wheel drive championship.
Hey, the trophy truck championship's on the line.
Yeah, there you go. And switch it back. Take the T off. Maybe the T just kind of blows off the plate there.
Oh, is there going to be a T on there? I missed that part.
Yeah. Oh my God. Who's running this guy's program?
I thought it was just on the entry list. It was going to say that.
No, you got to put a T on the number. You got to be 16T, just like the Legends. You got to be 16L or whatever. You're going to enter the L. So T is for 2-wheel drive. So those of you spectators watching out there this year, that's how you can tell the difference. If the car comes by and it just has a number, two digits, it's a trophy truck. If it has a T, it's in the 2-wheel drive class. And if it has an L, it's in the Legends class. So there you go.
Okay. We'll figure it out. All right, Fish. Thanks for having me. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Got anything else, Fish?
Nope, that's it. Thanks, Cameron, as always, for hosting. Did a great job once again. You know the course like nobody else, so it's good to have you on.
Well, this time was a little bit of a crapshoot since we hadn't seen it, but like I said, we try to give the opinions that we can.
No, nobody's seen it. This is the first time anybody got to see the GPS file, so there you go. That's why you tuned into Fishgistics.
Yep, right on. You heard it here first, right?
Yep.
All right, everybody. Have a great night, great day, whenever you're watching. Tune back in. At some point, there will be a San Felipe post race show here on Fishgistics. God bless, be safe, and be smart.